about Ralph Ellison is his Invisible Man, a very famous novel. So, Invisible Man was published in 1952. Although the story is very long, but I have tried myself to concise it to the minimum level. Still, it will take around 20 minutes to understand the story. So kindly be very conscious and alert. This novel addresses many of the social and intellectual issues faced by the Afro-Americans. So as you see that Ralph Ellison is a black American. So obviously he will write about the suffering of the black people. So obviously he is writing about the Afro-Americans or the black Americans in the early 20th century. That includes black nationalism, relationship between black and Marxism, then reformist racial policies of Booker Washington, as well as the issue of individuality and personal identity of the blacks. So these are the themes that he has taken in this novel. It got National Book Award for Fiction in 1953. In USA, National Book Award is none lesser than the Pulitzer Prize. In 1998, the Modern Library ranked Invisible Man on the 19th position in the list of 100 best English language novels of the 20th century. 20th century की जितनी best novels हैं 100 में, this was on the 19th position. So you must be worried that which is the novel which is on the first position, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you. So Time magazine included the novel in its Time 100 Best English Language Novels from 1923 to 2005. And it called it quintessential American picaresque novel of the 20th century. So this novel was called by the Time magazine as a picaresque novel of the 20th century. Because the protagonist of this novel is a rogue, is a picar. So the Time magazine called it a picar novel or picaresque novel rather than a racist novel or race novel or even as a Bildungsroman. Because it talks about the life of the protagonist from childhood till his manhood. But Time magazine called it not as a Bildungsroman but a picaresque novel. According to the New York Times, former US President Barack Obama modeled his memoir, Dreams from My Father, that is based on this novel, The Invisible Man. And this question has been recently asked in one of the foreign university exams. Dreams from My Father by Barack Obama is modeled on The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. So this is the list of the novels that are on the top 10 by the Modern Library. These top 10 novels are of 20th century. Number 1 is Ulysses by James Joyce, that we have already studied. The Great Gatsby was on the second position by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This also we have studied. Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce on number 3. Again completed. Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. When we will be studying about the Russian literature, we will cover this novel as well. Brave New World is on the 5th position by Aldous Huxley. And The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. Again completed. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler. Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. And The Grapes of Wrath, just we have studied, that is on the 10th position by John Steinbeck. So these are the top 10 novels of the 20th century as adjudged by the Modern Library. Coming back to the important characters of The Invisible Man. The narrator or the protagonist is unknown, unnamed. So like the title Invisible Man, protagonist is also invisible. His name is also invisible. Throughout the novel, he is only called a narrator. And he says that why I am invisible, the narrator himself says that why I am invisible, actually I am not invisible. Because I am a black man, I am a poor man, and I have been ignored since my childhood. Nobody wants to see me. That is the reason I call myself Invisible Man. And then there is another character, Mr. Norton. When the novel starts, this narrator is going to flashback to tell his childhood story. And in that he says that he joined one of the black college, the college that was made for the black people but was governed by the white people. So among them was one Mr. Norton. Mr. Norton was the trustee who used to provide the funds for the black college. So Mr. Norton was one of the trustees of that college in which this narrator used to study. And he used to drive the car of Mr. Norton. So he was one of the driver as well as a student and a driver of his trustee. Then Jim Trueblood. Then Dr. Bledsoe. Dr. Bledsoe is a principal, or you can say the director of that college. Then another Mr. Emerson, Lucius Brockway, Mary Rambo. These are all the characters that will be appearing. Actually, as I said, the novel is very big. So if I tell about all these characters, then it will take too much time. So we will see these characters during our novel itself. Otherwise, I'll have to narrate the story twice. So there was an unnamed narrator who speaks and tells his reader that he is an invisible man. So this is how our story starts, and he explains that he is invisible simply because other refuses to see him. He goes on to say that he lives underground. Underground means he lives below ground. And he is chiffoning electricity. He is stealing electricity, chura raha hai bijli, because he could lighten his place where he is living. Actually, at the end of the novel, it is revealed that he is not living in any home or in any palace. Rather, he is living in one of the gutter that is called a manhole. There is a dry gutter inside which he is living, and he don't want to show his face to the people because nobody likes him. And he is stealing the electricity from Monopolated Light and Power Company. This is the name of the company which provides electricity. So he is stealing the electricity to lighten his apartment. Actually, it is proved to be a gutter, not an apartment, at the end of the novel. Inside that underground place, he used to listen to the jazz music, and he used to recount the vision he had while he listened to Louis Armstrong, who is a very big singer, and traveling back into his history of slavery. So now here he goes to flashback to tell his story. So I'll take you to his childhood age. So the narrator flashes back to his own youth, remembering his innocent age when he was a child. So in the flashback, now narrator is a talented young man, and now he is studying in the high school graduation. He was a very eloquent speaker. That was the talent of our protagonist. Very nice speaker. So he is invited to give his high school graduation speech in front of group of prominent white local leaders. As I said, that most of the schools and colleges were governed by the white people. So that school was also governed by white local leaders. And if he could have given a successful speech, then he is going to get a scholarship. And based on that scholarship, he will get admitted to the black college. After passing this school, he is going to college now, but for that he has to qualify this speech. At the meeting, the narrator is asked to join a humiliating boxing match. So before he is going to present the speech, the white peoples and the local leaders are also to see some entertainment. And for that, there is a boxing match planned. And that boxing match is named as Battle Royal, in which our unnamed narrator has to fight with some other black students, just as a sake of entertainment to our white people and white leaders. After the battle was over and all these black students got their body injured in the fight, so because they have fought, now they will be given some ransom. कुछ पैसे दे दिए जाएंगे, चलो तुमने लड़ाई किया तो चलो कुछ पैसे ले लो. But those monies were not given in their hands. Those monies were thrown on an electrified carpet. एक कंबल होता है जिसमें कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होती है, जो उस पे से पैसा उठाएगा उसको करंट लगेगा. So that money was thrown on that electrified carpet, and they have to grab their payment from that carpet. This was the condition. Afterwards, the narrator gives his speech while swallowing blood. Although he was completely injured in the fight, his full body was bleeding, even though he gave his speech. So after the speech, as he was to be given a scholarship, he got a briefcase and a scholarship to the state's black college. So now he is going to be promoted to the black college, and now he has got admission in the state's black college, which is made for the black people governed by whites. So later, the narrator now is a student at the unnamed black college. Till now, I hope the story is clear.
Yes, sir.
Because this story is going to be very big, so in between I'll keep you asking that कहीं आप भटक तो नहीं गए. The narrator has been given the honor of chauffeuring. Chauffeuring means driving someone's car. So now he is chauffeuring for one of the school trustees. His name is Mr. Norton. Mr. Norton is a white man. All the whites are same. None is different. So he, although he is a student, even though he has to act as a driver of Mr. Norton. While driving, the narrator takes Mr. Norton into an unfamiliar area near the campus. So एक दिन चलाते चलाते मिस्टर नॉर्टन को एक अनफेमिलियर एरिया के पास लेके जाता है, जहां पे मिस्टर नॉर्टन कहता है कि यहाँ पे कार रोक दो. So Mr. Norton demands that the narrator must stop the car. So when the car is stopped, Mr. Norton gets out and he talks to a local sharecropper. His name is Jim Trueblood. But his act is nothing like a true blood. He always acts like a bad blood. So true blood has brought disgrace upon himself. And what is that disgrace? He has impregnated his own daughter. He had a sexual relation with his own daughter, and now his daughter is impregnated, and he recounts this incident to Mr. Norton in a long dream-like story. So when Mr. Norton is horrified to listening this story, simultaneously he is also stimulated. And now he tells the narrator that now he needs some stimulant to satisfy his sexual desire, to recover himself from that desire. Now the narrator is worried that Mr. Norton will fall ill now, because whenever he is aroused or stimulated, he always fall ill. Even though he takes him to the Golden Day. Golden Day is a black bar and also a whorehouse, a prostitution, so that Mr. Norton's stimulation can be released. So when they arrive, the Golden Day is occupied by a group of mental patients. Beside the bar, there was a hospital, mental hospital. So that time, mental patients were there in the bar to have the drink. So narrator initially tries to carry out some drink, keeping Mr. Norton outside, but finally he is forced to bring Mr. Norton inside the bar, where Mr. Norton faints and falls down on the table. Because narrator initially said that if he goes in such type of situation, he is always fall ill. So again, Mr. Norton faints and falls on the table. At that table, there was a patient, mental patient. Initially, he was an ex-doctor. So the ex-doctor knows some medicine and he also carries some medicine. So he helps Mr. Norton to recover from his fainting spell. But he also insults Mr. Norton with his boldness. Now Mr. Norton is shaken. He is wake up now from the faint. He returns back to the campus and goes to speak with Dr. Bledsoe. और ब्लेडसो को जाके बताता है कि मेरी जो ये हालत हुई है, that is because of this narrator, my driver, इसकी वजह से हुई है. So Dr. Bledsoe is the president of Black College. So to listening this, because जो Mr. Norton होते हैं वो ट्रस्टी होते हैं, he provides all the funds to the college. So obviously he is a powerful man. और उनको कुछ हो गया है, उनको चोट भी लग गई है. That is going to be a very horrible thing. So Dr. Bledsoe is furious with the narrator. In chapel, he goes in the church, जहाँ पे prayer करते हैं church में, that is called a chapel. So in chapel, the narrator listens to a sermon preached by the Reverend Barbie. So Barbie is giving some sermon in the church, who praises the founder of the Black College. The speech makes the narrator feel even more guilty for his mistake. Although he was not at mistake, nothing was at his fault, but he is made to realize his guilt. And when the preacher says that the founder of the Black College, Mr. Norton, is a great man, so he feels some more guilty for his mistake. And afterwards, Dr. Bledsoe reprimands the narrator, and he is exiled from the college, fired from the college. So Mr. Bledsoe asks him to go to New York City, leave the college and go to New York City. In New York, the narrator will work through the summer to earn his next year tuition. Because he don't have any money, so definitely he has to earn. But this problem, Bledsoe says that I am going to solve your problem of the job. So when you go to the New York, take this letter. This is the letter. So when you will show this letter to anyone, you will easily get the job in New York. तुम्हें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा न्यूयॉर्क में जॉब लेने में. So the narrator leaves for New York the next day. On the bus to New York, narrator को वही एक्स डॉक्टर मिलता है जिसने मिस्टर नॉर्टन को बचाया था. बट वो अभी क्या है, अभी वो एक मेंटल स्टेट में है, एक मेंटल पेशेंट है. So in the bus, he meets the ex-doctor again, who gives narrator some life advice, but the narrator does not understand.
अभी नरेटर को कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा कि वो क्या बोल रहा है. The narrator arrives in New York and is excited to live in Harlem's black community. Harlem वही जगह है जहाँ पे Harlem Renaissance that was started. In this Harlem, only black people live, although many other things are controlled by the white people. However, his job hunt proves unsuccessful. जो उसको लग रहा था कि as soon as I leave New York और ये जो ब्लैडसो का लेटर है जैसे ही मैं किसी को दिखाऊंगा मुझे जॉब मिल जाएगा, that proved to be unsuccessful. Eventually the narrator meets young Emerson. वहां पे एक आदमी मिलता है जिसका नाम है एमर्सन और वो नरेटर को अपने फादर से इंट्रोड्यूस कराने वाला है. So he is going to introduce his father to the narrator. Then young Emerson lets the narrator read Bledsoe's letter. जो हमारा नरेटर है वो डॉक्टर ब्लेडसो वाला लेटर दिखाता है एमर्सन को कि देखो यार ये लेटर लेके मैं घूम रहा हूँ लेकिन इसको दिखाने के बाद भी कहीं जॉब नहीं मिल रहा है. तो डॉक्टर ब्लेडसो का जो लेटर था वो ऐसा था कि वो खुद पढ़ नहीं पा रहा था, उतना भी एजुकेटेड नहीं था. So that was the reason he could not read the letter himself. So now it is interpreted by Emerson. Emerson जब उस लेटर को पढ़ता है तो उसको पता चलता है कि तुम्हें तो मूर्ख बना दिया है डॉक्टर ब्लेडसो ने. So he discovers that these letters was not meant to help you at all, but instead give him a sense of false hope. The narrator leaves dejected, but young Emerson tells him of a potential job at a factory of Liberty Paint. Emerson कहता है कि ज्यादा डिजेक्टेड होने की जरूरत नहीं है, ज्यादा उदास होने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं तो कुछ जुगाड़ करता हूं, तुम्हें एक यहाँ पे एक लिबर्टी पेंट का फैक्ट्री है, वहां पे मैं तुम्हें जॉब दिला सकता हूं. So now the narrator reports to Liberty Paints. और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है उसके पास. And now he is given a job. And now he is the assistant of Lucius Brockway. Lucius Brockway is also an old black man. And he controls the factory's boiler room and the basement. But ये जो Lucius Brockway है, he is a very suspicious type of man. So Lucius is suspicious of his protege. And when the narrator accidentally stumbles into union meeting, narrator कुछ लोगों को बुला के बैठा के बातें करता है, तो ये जो Lucius होता है उसका तो नेचर ही है suspicious, हमेशा शक करना. So Brockway believes that he is collaborating with the union to bring some devastation for the factory. उसको लगता है कि ये फैक्ट्री को तोड़फोड़ करने वाला है. That is the reason that he is making all these meetings. So at that moment he attacks the narrator. Narrator पे अटैक करता है, but narrator जो उसको overpower करने की कोशिश करता है, narrator tries to overpower him, but Brockway, जो Lucius Brockway होता है, he makes an explosion in the basement. Basement में एक छोटा सा बम को एक्सप्लोड कर देता है जिससे कि जो नरेटर होता है बुरी तरह से घायल हो जाता है. The narrator is wounded by the Lucius Brockway. अभी नरेटर जो होता है घायल हो जाता है तो then he is taken to the factory's hospital. वहीं पास में फैक्ट्री का हॉस्पिटल होती है. अब फैक्ट्री में हॉस्पिटल में ले जाने के बाद उसको ट्रीटमेंट के बजाय he is strapped into a glass and a metal box. मेटल बॉक्स में उसको बांध दिया जाता है स्ट्रैप से. And the factory's doctor treat the narrator with severe electric shocks. और उसको इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक देते हैं. उसको ट्रीटमेंट करना है बजाय उसको इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक देते हैं. और वो इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक इतना खतरनाक होता है कि वो नरेटर अपना नाम भी भूल जाता है. The narrator's sense of identity is only rekindled through his anger at the doctor's racist behavior. वो रेसिज्म को जब फील करता है, then he is survived, उसको होश आता है अभी. So without any explanation, the narrator is discharged from the hospital without any treatment. And also he is fired from his job at the factory. जहाँ पे काम करता था, from there also he is fired now. So the narrator returns back to Harlem. Harlem वापस आता है, and now he nearly collapses from weakness because he was wounded in the factory. He could not get any medical facility, could not get any treatment. So now he collapses from the weakness. At that moment, there is a kind woman whose name is Mary Rambo. Mary Rambo उसको shelter देती है. So she takes the narrator inside her house, and soon the narrator begins renting a room in her house. उसी के घर में रूम रेंट पे लेके रहने लगता है, मैरी रैम्बो के घर में. जब वो अपने मैरी रैम्बो के घर में जाता है तो उसको ये याद आता है कि व्हाट कैन आई डू इन माय लाइफ, मेरे पास ऐसा क्या है जिससे मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ. Then he recalls about his orating skill that he has cultivated during his school days. So he begins practicing those speech making abilities. He thinks that यही मेरी एक ability है जिससे मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ. So one day the narrator stumbles across an elderly black couple that is being evicted from their apartment. एक दिन क्या होता है, जो मैरी रैम्बो का घर है उसके पास में ही एक और फैमिली रहती है. They are also the black couple. तो उस ब्लैक कपल को उनके घर से बाहर निकाल देते हैं, जिसके घर में वो रेंट लेके रहते हैं. So those people evicted those black couple from their apartment. और रोते चिल्लाते जा रहे होते हैं, तो ये जो नरेटर होता है उनको देखता है और वो चाहता है कि उनकी हेल्प करे, because they are also the black people. So now he uses his rhetorical skill to arouse the crowd. अभी वो अपने जो बोलने की स्किल है उसको यूज करके क्राउड इकट्ठा करता है और ये बताना चाहता है कि देखो कैसे ब्लैक लोगों को घर से निकाला जा रहा है. So he aroused the crowd watching the disposition and causes a public disturbance. काफी भीड़ इकट्ठा हो जाती है और काफी हंगामा होने लगता है. उसी क्राउड में एक और कैरेक्टर आता है. His name is ब्रदर जैक. अभी ब्रदर जैक जो है वो हमारा नरेटर है, उसके स्पीच से काफी प्रभावित हो गया है. He's got influenced. Although brother Jack is escaping from the police. ब्रदर जैक भी खुद कहीं पुलिस से भाग के आ रहा है. और ब्रदर जैक की खासियत ये है कि इसका एक आंख ही है, एक आंख से अंधा है और उसमें ये ग्लास के बाउल्स लगा के रखता है, जस्ट टू इंडिकेट कि मैं दोनों आंख मेरे सही हैं. So now brother Jack is following our narrator. Brother Jack tells the narrator that he wishes to offer him a job making speeches for his organization. अभी ब्रदर जैक जो है उसको क्यों फॉलो कर रहा है, वो ये चाहता है कि बहुत अच्छा बोलने वाला है, इज अ वेरी गुड ऑरेटर. सो इफ ही मेक्स स्पीचेस फॉर माय कंपनी, जिसका नाम है द ब्रदरहुड, सो ही कॉल्स द नरेटर टू एक्ट एज अ ओरेटर फॉर हिज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द ब्रदरहुड. पहले तो नरेटर को लगता है कि यहाँ कोई विश्वास करने लायक नहीं है, नोबडी इज बिलीवेबल. सो ही इज स्केप्टिक इन द बिगिनिंग, बट कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है उसके पास. So later on he accepts the offer. So the narrator is now taken to Brotherhood's headquarters, where he is given a new name and is told that he must move away from Mary Rambo. Mary Rambo के घर में रहता था, उसको छोड़ने के लिए बोला गया उसको, and he has to stay in Brotherhood's house. Brotherhood का जो quarters है उसमें रहने के लिए उसको बोला गया. Narrator is agreed to the condition. कोई ऑप्शन नहीं उसके पास. Soon after, the narrator gives a rousing speech to a crowded arena. उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जितने लोग होते हैं सबको एक जगह इकट्ठा करके और स्पीच देता है और उस स्पीच के बाद वो वहां का हीरो हो जाता है. He is embraced as a hero in that organization. Although some of the brotherhood leaders disagree with his speech. कोई जलते हैं लोग. There are some people who are jealous to him. So that is the reason they are disagree with the speech of the narrator. यहाँ तक स्टोरी क्लियर है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the narrator is sent to a man whose name is Brother Hambro. Brother Hambro के पास उसको भेजा जाता है. Brother Hambro is a type of man who controls all the organizational issues. Brotherhood का जो पूरा organization होता है, जिससे he is just like one of the leader of that organization. So Brother Hambro makes an introduction with the narrator, and he talks about the theory of the brotherhood. He teaches all the rules and regulations of his organization to the narrator. 4 months later, narrator meets Brother Jack. Brother Jack भी उसी कंपनी में काम करता है. Who tells the narrator that he will be appointed as a chief spokesperson of the Brotherhood's Harlem district. तो Brotherhood का जो हार्लेम वाला ब्रांच है, वहां का he is going to be a chief spokesperson. So it is really a big achievement for the narrator. So in Harlem, the narrator is tasked with increasing support for the Brotherhood. Brotherhood का जो ब्रांच हार्लेम वाला ब्रांच है, वहां का वो chief spokesperson बन गया है, and now he is supporting to upliftment of this organization. वहां पे वो एक आदमी से मिलता है जिसका नाम है टॉड क्लिफ्टन. टॉड क्लिफ्टन is an intelligent and skillful member of the Brotherhood. क्लिफ्टन and narrator ये दोनों साथ में काम करते हैं. They soon find themselves fighting against Ras the Exhorter. ये एक आदमी का नाम है, Ras the Exhorter. He is a black nationalist who believes that black should not cooperate with the white people. और ये जो Ras the Exhorter है, इसका काम है जितने भी ब्लैक लोग व्हाइट के साथ मिलके रहते हैं, उनका काम करते हैं, उनको मारना. बिकॉज उसका जो फंडा यही है कि द ब्लैक नेशनलिस्ट और द ब्लैक पीपल शुड नॉट कोऑपरेट विद व्हाइट पीपल. तो ये हमारा जो नरेटर है, ही इज आल्सो ब्लैक मैन हु इज हेल्पिंग दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन that is controlled by the white people. Brotherhood is controlled by white people. The narrator soon starts to become famous as a speaker. काफी famous हो जाता है. However, complication still sets in. The narrator receives an anonymous note telling him that he is rising too quickly. उसके जो जलने वाले लोग होते हैं उससे, वो उसको एक anonymous note लिखते हैं कि वो बहुत ज्यादा तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है, जो कि अच्छी बात नहीं है. Even worse, another Brotherhood member named Restrum, एक और उसी में होता है Restrum. He accuses the narrator of using the Brotherhood for his own personal gain. वो उसको accuse करता है कि तुम अपने लिए काम कर रहे हो, you're not working for Brotherhood. तुम जो भी काम कर रहे हो अपने upliftment के लिए कर रहे हो. And on this issue, he was temporarily suspended from this Brotherhood organization. वहां की जो कमिटी होती है उसको टेम्पररी कुछ दिनों के लिए सस्पेंड करती है, क्योंकि जो रेस्ट्रम है वो भी एक पावरफुल पोजीशन पे है कंपनी में. तो जस्ट टू सैटिस्फाई हिज ईगो, द ब्रदरहुड कमिटी सस्पेंड द नरेटर until the charges are cleared, and he reassigned him to lecture downtown on the women question. अभी ये जो नरेटर था हमारा वो हार्लेम में था, और हार्लेम एक बहुत अच्छा जगह था ब्लैक लोगों के लिए. बट वहां से एक डाउनटाउन, मतलब उससे भी गया गुजरा जगह जिसका नाम है वुमेन क्वेश्चन, वहां पे उसको भेजा जाता है लेक्चर देने के लिए. हार्लेम से बहुत दूर, बहुत ही पिछड़ा हुआ इलाका जिसका नाम है वुमेन क्वेश्चन. So in that downtown, the narrator meets a woman who convinces him to come back to her apartment. वहां पे एक वुमेन मिलती है जो अपने घर ले जाती है उसको. They sleep together and the narrator becomes afraid that the tryst will be discovered. अब इसको डर लगता है कि जब मैं इसके साथ सोया हूं, so one day this secret is going to be revealed. At the same moment, he is summoned to an emergency meeting at the Brotherhood. उसी समय उसको वहां से एक कॉल आती है कि उसको एक इमरजेंसी मीटिंग में जाना है. और जब वो मीटिंग ज्वाइन करता है ब्रदरहुड की, तो वहां से उसको पता चलता है कि टॉड क्लिफ्टन वहां से मिसिंग है. टॉड क्लिफ्टन वही है जो उसके साथ काम करता था. So the narrator is reassigned the same work to Harlem. जो पहले वो हार्लेम में काम करता था, फिर से उसको वही काम दिया जाता है. बट अभी जब वो वापस आता है हार्लेम में वही काम करने के लिए, then he discovers that so many things have been changed now, and Brotherhood has lost much of its precious popularity. पहले जो एक पॉपुलैरिटी मिला था उसकी वजह से ब्रदरहुड को सब कुछ खत्म हो चुका है. The narrator soon discovers Clifton on the street. तभी उसको क्लिफ्टन मिल जाता है और अब वो जॉब छोड़ के सैम्बो डॉल्स सेल करता है, गुड़िया सेल करता है स्ट्रीट में घूम घूम के. और वहां पे उसको पता चलता है कि वो उसने जानबूझ के जॉब छोड़ा है. He is not satisfied with the organizational issues. So before the narrator can understand Clifton's betrayal, Clifton is shot dead by the police for resisting arrest. जब वो छोड़ के जॉब भाग जाता है तो उसको पुलिस खोज रही होती है कि बिना बताए तुम कैसे भाग सकते हो. So for that reason he was to be arrested and he is now shot dead by the police officer. Now जब वो क्लिफ्टन मर जाता है तो उसको funeral करने के लिए narrator organizes a public funeral for Clifton. बट जब वो funeral करता है तो अपने पार्टी के जो लीडर्स हैं उनको बुलाता नहीं है, उनको बताता भी नहीं कि मैं क्या करने जा रहा हूँ. So he is unable to get in touch with the party leaders and he alone organizes a public funeral. Public funeral is a success and the people of Harlem who have gathered in that funeral, they are energized by narrator's speech. वहाँ भी एक speech देता है वो और वहाँ भी काफी popularity मिलती है उसको. However, the narrator is called again by the party committee. क्योंकि पार्टी कमेटी को पता चलता है कि बिना हमारे परमिशन के उसने funeral किया और वहां पे speech किया. So because of that reason he is chastised for not following their orders. और वहां पे उस ब्रदर जैक से मिलता है. ये ब्रदर जैक वही है जो इसको लेके गया था कंपनी में. So the narrator confronts brother Jack whose glass eye pops out of its socket. उसके आंख से वो उसका वो निकल जाता है ग्लास. So now he left the committee and narrator is nearly beat up by Rasdak Joter's man. वो कमेटी छोड़ के घर से वहां से निकलता है तभी उसको ये रास्दैक जोटर मिलता है और उसको खूब पकड़ के पीटता है. Sensing his new unpopularity in Harlem, the narrator buys a pair of dark lensed glasses. अभी जो नरेटर है उसको लगता है कि मैं काफी अनपॉपुलर हो रहा हूँ तो अपनी आइडेंटिटी छुपाने के लिए वो एक ग्लास पहनता है, ब्लैक डार्क लेंस ग्लास. So as soon as he put on the glasses, several people mistake the narrator for a man named Reinhardt. एक नया कैरेक्टर है बट कैरेक्टर नहीं है, ऐसा लोगों को लगता है कि ये एक राइनहार्ट की तरह दिख रहा है. चश्मा पहनने के बाद he is looking like Reinhardt, who was apparently a gambler, pimp and a preacher. राइनहार्ट भी एक ब्लैक मैन है जो कि चश्मा लगाता है. तो जब हमारा नरेटर भी चश्मा लगाया है तो he is looking like a Reinhardt. The narrator goes to see brother Hambro. ये ब्रदर हैम्ब्रो यही है जो जिसने रूल एंड रेगुलेशन बताया था कंपनी के. तो ये वापस ब्रदर हैम्ब्रो के पास जाता है रूल एंड रेगुलेशन जानने के लिए फॉर एन एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द ब्रदरहुड्स डिक्टेट्स कि मुझे किस लिए यहाँ पे बुला के मुझे बेइज्जत किया गया है. So Hambro tells the narrator that Harlem must be sacrificed for the best interest of the entire brotherhood. An answer the narrator finds deeply unsatisfying. अभी यहाँ पर नरेटर को लगता है कि अभी यहाँ कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. ये जितने लीडर्स बैठे हैं टॉप में ये सारे के सारे करप्ट हैं और ये पूरे हार्लेम को सेक्रीफाइस करने पे तुले हुए हैं just to for the sake of saving this organization brotherhood. So that narrator is disillusioned by Hambro words and he remembers his grandfather's advice. अभी उसको एक grandfather की advice याद आती है कि अगर white लोगों को पावर करना है, empower करना है तो उनके साथ कॉपरेट करो, उनके साथ घुलो मिलो और फिर उनको हराओ। So this was the advice that was given by his grandfather. तो वो सोच रहा है कि अभी इस ट्रिक को भी अपनाते हैं। So now he plans to sabotage the brotherhood by telling the committee that whatever it wants to hear regardless of the reality. अभी वो ब्रदरहुड के लोगों से मिलके और उनको सबक सिखाने का प्लान बना रहा है। He also plans to infiltrate the party's hierarchy by sleeping with the wife of a high-ranking member of the brotherhood. जो एक हाई रैंकिंग पे है ब्रदरहुड में, उसकी वाइफ के साथ सो के उसके साथ रिलेशनशिप बना के और उसको बर्बाद करने की सोचता है। The narrator meets Sybil, a woman who fits the bill at a brotherhood party. सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की पार्टी चल रही थी, उसमें एक वुमेन मिलती है जिसका नाम है सिबिल। Although Sybil knows nothing about the narrator, but now she prefers that Sybil use the narrator to play out her own sexual fantasy. That if the narrator rapes her, then she will cry out of hell that she is raped by a black man. So this is her fantasy. While Sybil is in her apartment, the narrator gets a call. जब ये सारे प्लान बना रही होती है सिबिल, तभी नरेटर को पता चलता है कि हार्लेम में दंगा हो गया है। There is a riot in the Harlem. The narrator rushes uptown to find that Harlem is in chaos. The narrator falls in with a group of looters. वहीं उसे कुछ लूटर मिलते हैं। The looters soon escalate their violence. They burn down their own tenement buildings to protest the poor living conditions. वहाँ की कंडीशन बहुत खराब होती है, उसको प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए वो जो लूटर होते हैं वहाँ वायलेंस फैलाते हैं, जलाते हैं। नरेटर रन्स इनटू रैश द एग्जॉर्टर अगेन। अब वहां से नरेटर जो भागता है उस लूटर से बचने के लिए भागते भागते जाता है और भागते भागते पहुंच जाता है वो रैश द एग्जॉर्टर के पास, जिसने उसको बहुत पीटा था पिछली बार। So Ras the Exhorter is now addressed as Abyssinian chieftain. वहां पे भी रेस जो होता है अपने आदमियों को भेजता है कि जाके इसको मार दो नरेटर को। So Ras sends his men to try to hang the narrator. The narrator barely escapes from Ras' men, and when he is again running, then he meets 3 white men again. और वहां Ras the Exhorter के पास से भागते भागते उसको 3 white लोग और मिलते हैं। और जब वो भाग रहा होता है तो उसके हाथ में एक ब्रीफ केस होता है और ये वही ब्रीफ केस है जो उसको स्पीच देते समय स्कूल के टाइम में मिला था। So they ask him that what he has in the briefcase. When the narrator turns to run, he falls into a manhole. अब यहीं पे जब वो वहां से भागना चाहता है, यहाँ पे गटर में गिर जाता है। और जब वो गटर में गिरता है तो जो व्हाइट मैन है उस गटर को ऊपर से सील कर देते हैं। The white man seal the narrator's underground, and now the narrator is in underground, where the narrator is forced to burn his past position to see in the dark. और वहीं से उसकी कहानी जो है अंडरग्राउंड की स्टार्ट हो जाती है और जब से वो गिरा है अभी तक वो अंडरग्राउंड है क्योंकि ऊपर से उसको सील कर दिया गया है। और अब नरेटर फ्लैशबैक से वापस आता है। Narrator returns to present, remarking that he has remained underground since that time. जब से वो गिरा है तब से वो underground ही है। He reflects on the history and the words of his grandfather and says that his mind won't let him rest. अभी उसको ग्रैंडफादर की चीजें अभी भी याद आ रही है और वो सब सोच रहा है कि अभी यहाँ से निकलना है। So narrator says that he feels ready to end his hibernation and emerge above the ground. अब यहाँ सोचता है कि यहाँ से बाहर निकल के कुछ करना है। And this is how the story ends.